Hey, it's working. Oh, it took me so long to set up my camera. I can't believe these things don't just automatically work. Apparently, I had some other app blocking my camera. So I made it. Here we are, Destiny Palmistry. Welcome to my live stream. I don't know how long I'll be here for. I'm going to uh, learn how to do live. So I've only just done this a couple of times on my laptop, and now I'm testing it on my desktop on YouTube. So we'll see how it goes out. I'm going to be talking about things you might not know about palmistry or palm reading. And so, yeah, it is a test. I don't have a lot of quiet privacy. So there might be distractions. My phone might ring, the door might be knocking, someone might be calling out my name. So anything can happen here. And looks like my desk is shaking. So I'm getting the wobble like this. So all sorts of things. It's just literally testing. So is somebody's watching? Do we have, can I see if there's live? There's people here. It says 0. Hello from Massachusetts. Guess not. Yeah, that I failed. Sorry, my camera failed. I'm back. Okay, it's letting me type. So somebody tried to join. Apologies, Rich Hamilton, because my camera failed. I'm a newbie, so we'll get this right. Whether he comes back or not, whether anybody joins me, doesn't matter. I'm here, and it can be replayed anytime. Once it's finished going live, if I don't find any live people. Anyway, here it is, testing to see whether it is worth me using Streamlabs software, or do I just use the YouTube Live? And I think if I get the YouTube Live working, I think it's probably a better option because it's, well, it's free. And yeah, anything that's free is a lot better, isn't it? So hopefully I'll get some viewers back. So we're going to be talking about things you might not know about palmistry. So I'll get to it because people can always go back and watch the live again. So things you might not know about palmistry. People often think it's all about predicting the future and looking at the lines, but there's so much more to it than that, because I, for instance, can tell about the person's past on what's happened on the size of their fingers, the thickness of their fingers, for instance. For instance, the ring finger, that can tell me about the person's past relationship. The index finger can tell about the person's own self-image and what they think of themselves. And the middle finger can show about your general life rules, whether you have a rule, whether you obey rules, or whether you're a little bit more risk-taking type of person. And the pinky talks about your communication style and, you know, things like whether you are open and communicative or whether you are quiet and shy, whether you like to live in the country, whether you like the city life. There's little things, so many things that you can see just from the fingers. Do we have hi, Mark from the UK. Hi, great, we have somebody online. Yay, winning. Apologies to the people who tried to come on live when I pressed live and the camera didn't work, and I just had to panic, press the cross off button and Google, why is my camera not working? It took me a little bit to get the camera working. But yeah, so I was talking about how we can tell different things from reading the palms and hands. Not palmistry is not just about palm lines. It is about the hands, all of the hands, everything that's happening on your hands. So very exciting. I've been studying it all my life, and I can't not study it. It just doesn't stop. Everybody's hands are different. Everybody's different. Everyone's unique, just like your fingerprints are unique. So it's awesome. Chirology, yes, that's right. Is palmistry. Is an old term, but it's modern palmistry, and that's what it is. So also, we was talking about the fingers and how you can tell about the shape, the size of the fingers, but also we can tell what's happened in your past or your personality from whether they have a curve, whether they are straight. Some fingers have a curvature. Mine was broken when I was young, so mine has a kink, but that kink can happen naturally. It can literally, you can have curved fingers and nothing's ever happened to your fingers, and you wonder, why is that tip bent, or why is the middle finger curved? You know, that those are signs of your character, and they are formed based on what's happened in your past. The same as your fingertips. The fingertips show what's been happening in your past, and it can show your weaknesses. So whether they are thick and bulgy, whether they are pointy, whether they are flat, they show what your weaknesses might be. Now, what might surprise people is knuckle reading, which is what I've been studying. So reading the skin on the knuckles and the creases. So that's something that I'm going to go into on my members only content. So little perks where you learn stuff that you can't just learn everywhere. So if you are considering joining my channel, you're going to be getting content that nobody else gets. So I do have a join button in my channel. It literally says join, or you can go in the community tab as well and join through there, I think. So yeah. What else we were talking about, things you might know about palmistry, is the skin texture. For instance, it can feel rough, it can feel very silky, it can feel tough, it can feel floppy. So all these skin textures can reveal your resilience, and they can reveal your personality, whether you are somebody that's sensitive, easily offended, whether you are just robust, or whether you're a bit cold-hearted, or whether you're soft-hearted, whether you are your skin texture reveals so much, whether you can see the fingerprints or not. Your fingerprints also reveal so much about your personality. So we'll be doing more fingerprint stuff in the members only content as well. I'm going to stop for a bit of water. Yeah. Talking so much. Yeah, so if you have, I don't know if you have been watching my channel, if you've gone through my videos, I've got over 170 videos to learn from for free on YouTube. I've got over 200 articles on my website. If you haven't been to destinypalmistry.com, check that out. You can type in the search bar whatever you might be looking for. It should be in there. If it's not in there, please contact me or comment on the article what you want to learn, because I will get that up there for you. So my videos playlists, I have 9 videos alone on the lifeline. I have 8 videos about the fate line that goes up the middle of your palm. I've got 8 videos talk about certain signs and symbols. I don't usually read signs and symbols, but they're very interesting and some of them kind of make sense. And then I've got 8 videos about the heart line, which is the line that is the uppermost horizontal crease. Then I have 11 videos about the headline, which is the lower crease across the palm. So the headline is, in my opinion, one of the most, I don't like to use the word important, but it's very important in palm reading, because that's where you really see a lot about the character, because a person's has a heart and they have a mind. So the headline represents a lot on what's going on up here. So it's very important. So I have 11 videos about that one so far. The thumb, oh, it's so, look at this curly thumb. Yeah, so the thumb has its own world. It's its own world of thumb reading. So I do have 5 videos about the thumb so far, and I'll be doing more in my members only content as well. We're going a lot into the study of the thumb lines, so similar to the knuckle reading as well. A lot of people like to ask about money. They want to ask about their career. That's the most important in their life. They go, you know, can I be a business person? Can I get a job? Or what, you know, can I be successful? Those kind of questions. Will I be rich and famous? You know, that's not really, it's possible for anybody if they apply themselves. So it's not, you know, is it your character to be rich and famous? Then it's possible that you could be. So I have 16 videos on career and money, because that's so, you know, it's one of those things so many people ask about their career. So 16 career and money videos. So if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer. And also, if you want to be featured in one of my videos anonymously, if you've watched a lot of them, I have sample readings where I have somebody's palm and I read it. So I don't reveal the person, I don't reveal information about the person. So it's done anonymously, and I pick a specific part of that hand and I do a quick video on that. So it's a good way for people to learn about their own palm and not have to pay for a palm reading. So that's basically it. So looks like I didn't get Mr. Rich back, and somebody else has already dropped out from my live stream. So and doesn't look like there's any questions coming up. So I will leave it at that, and I hope that you do contact me if you are interested in having your palm featured on YouTube, or if you have any other questions. And I'll look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for joining me, those few people, and maybe others will see that at a later date. Oh, we have somebody commenting, I would be interested in knowing more about my heart line. Okay, have you checked out my heart line videos? If you have, you might find that some of them are similar. Some of them might be similar to yours, and you might be able to get a reading. I don't think I can see. I don't think you can post a picture here unless you can describe your heart line. I might be able to give you a bit of a clue, because every heart line has its own little variations. So it could be the minor details in the heart line. So maybe if you can send me your photo, go to my contact us at destinypalmistry.com, and through there it will come to my email, and from there I can communicate with you. You can send a photo there, unless you want to try and describe your heart line now. Yes, I have the line that crosses my heart line running between the Saturn and Jupiter finger. Okay. Does it go all the way up to the, if it goes all the way up between the Saturn and Jupiter finger, Saturn is the middle, for those that don't know, Jupiter is the index finger. So if the heart line goes all the way up to between those two, that shows a very passionate personality. Okay, so that is shows a, you can show your emotions, but you are also very passionate about what you do. So whether it's in relationships or whether in life in general, it shows your passionate personality. And that's going to be more so if you have loop fingerprints. If they're all loops, it shows very open nature. If they're not loops, if you have all circles, then it shows a little bit more obsessive nature. You have a split fate line. Oh, you're talking about a line that crosses your heart line. Okay, so you have a line that crosses the heart line. Yeah, that would be the fate line. There's only two lines that should cross. Well, there's a few minor lines that cross. There's the Mercury line, the Apollo line, and then there'll be the fate line or the Saturn line. So a split fate line is more than likely going to cross the heart line in that region there. And the split fate line is split because there's changes. Your fate line shows changes in not only your career life, but in life in general. It can mean many changes. So if the fate line doesn't run straight in one line, that means there's not one direction in your life. You have a change of direction in life, a change of career, or change of family. And when it shifts over, it can usually shift over around the heart line, because that's approximately around age of 50 when people decide what they might want to do with their life. So if it changes right on the heart line, it means that you are starting to listen to your heart on what you really want to do. You want to change what you're doing and go with what you're passionate about. So if you're passionate about something, it's more likely to happen around that age if it changes on the heart line, because that's you're listening to your heart. If it changes on the headline, if there's a split there and then it changes direction, and sometimes it looks like two fate lines, that means that you're listening to your head. You're making a logical decision regarding your life or career. So all the marks on the headline refer to logical things. On the heart line, it means to emotional things and what you're passionate about, like your hobbies or just what you love to do in life. So more things like that. So you're saying it gets much stronger after the split with some ladder lines supporting it. Okay, when the line gets stronger, it means that you are thinking more along those lines. So imagine if the line once upon a time was just a fine line, and you're thinking about a certain thing. Say, for instance, let's say you want to be a farmer one day. Just I'm just coming up with anything. So you're thinking about being a farmer and you have this little line there. And the more you think about it, and the more action you take towards it, that line becomes deeper and deeper. So if the line is getting stronger after the split, that means the change is good. You are going to benefit from it because you are constantly thinking along the same line. So the lines get deeper the more you think about something. So say, for instance, you walk along, you're making yourself a path, you walk along the grass, and then you come back and you walk along the grass, and you always walk along that same path. Eventually you wear a path. Eventually there's a track where you've always walked, and you've killed the grass where you've walked. It's the same with the palm lines. The more you think about the same thing and focus on the same thing, the more that line changes and becomes deeper. So the deeper lines are the ones that are less likely to change. It means that you've set your mind to something and focused on it. Now, the ladder lines are, you can say they're supporting it, but they are the obstacles, but they are also like a ladder. So they are stepping stones. Nothing comes easily in life. It's probably a fact. Unless you win the lottery or something, and then life becomes easy. But those ladder lines are obstacles usually, and those obstacles actually help you because you get over them. So there's an obstacle and you solve a problem, you get on with it. If you get another obstacle, you solve that problem, you get on with it. Life's all about solving problems. So it's no problem having obstacle lines. They are meant to be there to make you stronger. It's the life lessons that actually make you stronger. So these obstacles, while they're there to test you, to see your resilience and how much you want to do what you want to do. So sometimes they're not obstacle lines. There can be crossing lines. There could be other things. It could be the girdle of Venus crossing there. It could be old stress lines coming through, like from a past worry, things like that. So yeah, but if the lines get stronger, it's definitely better for the future of that direction that you're headed to. I hope that makes sense to you. Was there anything else? The main line is quite thick in the middle of the line. The main line is thick. So yeah, so it sounds like you've got more than one fate line. So you might have a couple of lines because you mentioned the main line is thick. So I imagine you have more. 60 now. What timing do you give? Well, where the heart line, if you have a heart line in its normal spot, where the heart line crosses the palm and where the fate line meets where the heart line is, at that point where they meet is approximately 50, 49 to 50. So if you're moving along in millimeter sections, it goes up approximately every 4 to 5 millimeters is another 5 years. So 60, you're looking at a third of the way. Maths. You're probably looking at somewhere between the third or middle from the heart line to the top of the finger. Halfway would be probably about 65. But it's different on different people because this distance can vary on people. So 60 is anywhere around-ish the middle mark of the fate line, from the heart line to the tip. So 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. People live much longer than 75. You know, my grandmother lived to like nearly 100. So it's very approximate timing, very approximate. Sent you some photos around March. Oh, okay, cool. I said about 65. Okay. That's good. They can the lines can change, like from March is not too far away, but say if you took a photo of your palm last year at the same time this year, there might be changes. So they do change depending on your circumstances. If you've changed any circumstances in your life, so the life changes as well. Okay, well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's not an exact science, so pretty much what we do all the time is guessing. It is called analysis, hand analysis. So it's a study that we try and get right, but it's not about being right. It's about hopefully helping people to understand where they're at in life. Some people just don't want to make concrete decisions without consoling somebody about it. Hollow palms, well, it depends. Is it really hollow or is it just got big pads? And usually it seems hollow because there are big pads around it. That shows a very passionate nature. So big pads, passionate, nurturing, caring nature. If they are flat and then it's also hollow, then it's just so lack of character, like really lacking personality or something for the hollow palm. So it's not usually actually hollow. You have to feel it if it feels firm. Medical stigmata, they're very, very common lines. I call the medical stigmata more about communication. So people with those communicate well. So they might be someone you can talk to about your problems, and they might be able to help you by communicating with you. So they call them healers lines as well, but in my opinion, that it's more about communication because it's on the Mount of Mercury. So we are communicating. It's giving positive attributes to the Mercury, which is communication. Large amount of Venus and Luna. Yes, I quickly mentioned that before. So this is very nurturing nature when it's large here. Creative, nurturing. That's moon. It's all about the moon. It can be about your mother. It could be that you're connected well with your mother. And a large amount of Venus, that shows your energy, your capacity for love, and how much you like nature and things like that. So the amount of Venus, it shows a variety of things. So if that's very flat and wrinkly, it shows that maybe once upon a time you had a lot of energy, and then the energy has started to go down. So it's wrinkly because it used to be puffy. And that can happen as we age because we start doing less. So people who use their hands a lot obviously have larger amount of Venus because it's a part of the thumb. And the more you use your hands, the more that strengthens. And yeah, so it shows a lot of character traits on there, whether it's got any lines on it or not. So it's quite prominent lunar with many lines at the base. Okay, so sometimes if the lines are horizontal, they can refer to travel. If they can also refer to being hyperactive. They can refer to someone who has an addictive nature. So the big amount of moon can relate to addictions. So sometimes the lines refer to being addicted to, whether it's, you know, medical addiction or other types. So, and also depends, yeah, if they're horizontal. If they're vertical, I think that's quite rare. Vertical lines might be that just it's deflated. It's like maybe it used to be more puffy and it's deflated, and over time it has become covered in lines because of the nature of the skin is lost energy over the years. So yeah, it depends on the angle of the lines on what they mean. I think maybe we've come to an end of that. If you've got no more questions, I've got an alarm going off in the background. I'm going to have to go attend to it. I have a deep line that comes from my lifeline also. From the lifeline, that might be your health line. Usually the health line is deep, that comes from the lifeline, unless it's another fate line. My fate line comes from my lifeline. It's a deep line, but I've also got a health line that goes towards the pinky. If it goes towards the pinky, that's your health line. And your health line can indicate if there's health problems across to the lunar. Okay, so that from the lifeline to the lunar, that's intensity line. They used to call it allergy line, but I've got a survey on my website for people who have that line, and you can probably check it out on page 1. You've got to scroll down on my website. If you have, I've got various horizontal lines marked on my survey, and it's to find out if people have allergies, literally. And I have found out that it's rarely an allergy line. It's more about an intensity line. The person is quite tense, hyperactive, always on the go, maybe need something to keep life exciting, like, I don't know, bungee jumping out of a plane. Maybe not to that extreme, but it shows. I've found that a lot of people have a lot of energy who have that. If they travel also, it shows that they whether they like to travel physically, as in see places. It can also depict travel as in that could relate to escapism. So they like to escape, that kind of thing. But yeah, it all depends on the rest of the palm. Thanks. If you want to do a video of my palm, that would be great. Okay, cool. Well, I'll have a look back at my my emails, and I'll see if I can find it. I'm not sure if your email would come up as your name, but we'll have a look at that. I'll write your name down there. Cool. And we'll see what we can do there. Might even, this table keeps shaking my video. Look at that. Hello. My name is Mark. Okay, Mark. Video. Reading. I might put that on my next to-do list. I'll be going away tomorrow. I'll be away for 4 days. I might be doing some live videos while I'm away, and get onto this live thing more. And hopefully every time I travel, I'd like to be able to do live videos in different places. So whether I'm doing a live video of a palm reading or whether I'm doing a live video of just talking, showing you a beach, something like that. Anyway, thanks for your joining the chat, and thank you for your well wishes, and thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to say bye now and see if this thing will end when I say bye. Thanks everyone. Bye.